All right, guys. My name is Swayze. This is
I'm Charlie.
Hi. We're starting a talk show about video games. But the question is, you hear that all the time, don't you? Oh, we're starting another talk show about video games. What are we really talking about, Charlie?
We're talking about Hitman today.
Hitman today. Now, the thing is, what we're going into is we're not just talking about the video games or what you've probably heard and has been out, the movies. No, we're doing all of it, going into
The complete line, the complete chronicle order of the video games to include Hitman Go and Hitman Sniper, as well as both the movies. What we won't be covering is the books. There's just way too much information to go into those right now. We may do one later, but more than likely, probably not.
Right. And basically, the whole idea is we're going into the lore, the storyline, and the things you wouldn't know. Like, it would be like basically Easter eggs that you wouldn't understand, or why does Hitman or Agent 47 have a tattoo? Is it just a barcode, or does he actually have numbers? What's the meaning of it? And does he actually have a love interest? Is there a story behind everything else? That's the idea of stuff we're going into. So basically, we're going to break it down for you. Our idea is we'll have a series every week. I'll be posting videos of everything breakdown on Wednesdays. So Wednesdays you always have an upcoming show to come out that you'll be able to see about what we break down for the video games and why and what they are. So
buckle up, strap in, and this is about to get fun.
That's right. And remember, we want all the comments you can put out there. We don't care if they're negative, positive, or fun, or just stupid, silly, whatever. We want it all, because the input helps us learn if we're right about video games, if we're wrong, all of the above. Just remember that.
Mostly wrong.
Mostly wrong. Haha. Funny. Or mostly right. Who knows? But okay, so now we're going to do the franchise Hitman. What is it all about? So, Charlie, I'll turn it over to you first, and you tell me what you think or what it's about.
Okay, so we start off with Hitman. It's codename 47. That's one where he breaks down the original story arc.
Right.
It tells the story of him being a clone. It tells of him working for this company. You don't really get to know a whole lot about it. It doesn't really flesh out the character too much until you get to Silent Assassin. Then there's that crappy one in the middle that nobody ever played.
That's true.
Contracts.
Oh, that's right. See, I already forgot.
Yeah.
Man. See,
nobody likes contracts.
So, no one likes contracts. And then, the franchise kept going.
Then it goes into, I want to say it's Blood Money. Yeah, contracts and Blood Money. Then it's Absolution. So we'll go ahead and start out with Hitman Codename 47.
Okay, we'll start with 47. What I'm going to go into for you guys is detailed history of the game. Why is he to be, who he is, and why is he called 47? What is his name? So basically, lore goes into, of course, the general thing is, as everybody knows from movies and stuff, he's a genetically enhanced human being that's a master assassin. Well, how did he come to be? Where was he born? What was the whole case of it? So I'll go into it. This tells way back to the 1950s is the story lore that comes to be of what it's about. Basically, what I'm going to go into is it's basically he was born in Romania, this idea. And he has an actual maker, And his name's Ottawa Wolfgang Ort Myers. I don't know if that's correct. If it is, you guys can tell me in the comments. But that's
complicated last names.
Yeah.
It's crazy. It's you ever heard of a scientist that doesn't have a crazy last name?
It's true. They always do. All of them do.
You have to. Prerequisite for being a scientist, you have to have a crazy last name. If you're Joe Jones, hey, sorry.
Yeah. That doesn't mean
no science for you.
You can be a genius, but you're not gonna have a breakthrough or win a Nobel Prize. It's something explosive. That's why your last names are like that. But back to what we're going into. Basically, what it's about is 1950s. There's 5 men, various men, nationalists, began serving in the same unit, basically. And they decided to have a front or something that they needed somebody that could take care of anything and everything, regardless if it was for them, anybody else, capitalism, anything around the world. Somebody that could be that cold but could do the job and knowing that they are human and could pass for being a human. That's the basis behind Agent 47.
Which is actually crazy that you bring that up, that they started that in the 1950s, because just a few years earlier than that, that's really where cloning actually started to take off in general in the real world. It started out with plants In fact, the word clone actually means for a branch or a leaf to break off of its original host and then to grow another plant from that. And then just like everything in the world, science fiction writers get a hold of an idea and they just turn it into this explosive thing where it turns into this amazing storyline of what if humans could do that, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
What if humans could break off, and what if you could clone human beings? And that whole sci-fi adventure storyline, that's part of what makes these games so awesome.
Yeah, and it's, everybody has a storyline, and people are always like, oh, it's always about the storyline, it's always this, but the thing is, what we're talking about, we're going a little bit deeper. Like, we're going to say, why? Okay, you know who this person is, okay, tell me why. And most people can't do that. So, it's just going into the goals of how Agent 47 came to be. Okay, Myers, his goal was to have a perfect assassin, which is codename 47. And the idea of his thing was somebody could be in public, someone that could be derivative. He could just be cold-hearted, but you know who he is, and he could pass for anybody. And that's kind of hard these days, because people are only human. You can have people that kill people all the time, but they have a heart. They know, but some that can just do it without ease. Don't have to worry about it. Genetically engineered. And they can think smarter, think faster, think more on their feet. And that's the idea of what he wanted to do.
And this is something we'll cover more towards the end, but that's actually part of the reason why the movies got such poor reviews, is the movie actors gave both versions of 47 some feelers, some emotions, and they ended up reacting towards it. But like I said, we'll get to that here at the end.
Yeah, we'll get to the end. Basically, like I said, I gave you the story, of the lore. Okay. Now, my question to you guys is, do you know when he was born? He actually has a birthday, believe it or not. And the theory is, okay, everybody, all know the famous part, he has a barcode on his neck, right? Right. And do you ever see those numbers that are on his neck? Because barcode, they symbolize numbers, of course. So, I'm going to break it down for you. His number on the back of his neck is 640509-040147. You're thinking, okay, so he just has a number. That's his series of numbers, and that's how many they've had or something like that. People do that all the time. Like, this is number unit 7,896. We've had this many countless trials. That is not the case when it comes to his barcode for once. It actually has broken down what it can be. So, actually, the first set of numbers is his birth date, which breaks it down from, if you do the numbers, it is on his head, it says 64-05-09, which is his birth date. And you just put it together without the dashes. Birth date, dash. After that, the 04 means, at the second one, he's that series number 4. So they've tried trial and error with, of course, clones, and stuff like that, and going into derivative ideas of that. And then basically the 01 means that's the class he was in. He was in the very first class. He was in the number 1. And then his name, 47. As you guys know.
There's been some speculation about that as well. Now, when we say he was the 4th series, a lot of people like to bring up that there's a lot of clones that we haven't seen yet in the video games or in the movies. There's 4 series of them. One of the theories that I personally partake in is that is the 4th series of bad clones. They didn't make it.
Right.
All right, so that's where we get into the 01 that follows after that, where it says first class, which means there was a class, particularly 47 students in that class or more, of actually working clones. So he's a first series clone that actually exists, and there aren't any more before that.
Yeah, and basically what it goes into is when they genetically, made him or engineered him, they were going based off of the series, of course. They have people have suppression issues where if you're a stone cold killer, you go into a depression and you want to kill yourself because you can't feel, or you want to hurt yourself because you want to feel. And people have those recognitions. So series and tests of clones we haven't seen, that could have been the problem before. You don't know. So when they finally got what they wanted and they strived for, that's how Agent 47 came to be. So that's a little more lore there for them. Let's see, what else can we run into here?
A lot of complicated backstory. So as far as the first game is concerned, it tells the story of 47, pretty much his first class, right? That number, again, going to the back of his head. That's his first mission. You again, once we get to contracts, you get to learn quite a bit more from the first game. Contracts is pretty much 1.5 for those following along in the home game, but you just pretty much go backwards. which is a reason why a lot of people haven't played Contracts, is because it's retreading the same information from the first one.
Yeah.
But anyway, at the end of the first game, you've realized where you're at, you realize who you are, you realize you're a clone, and yeah, you know what, we're not cool with that. It's not something that 47 really wanted to be a part of, which is what leads into the second game, Silent Assassin, and my personal favorite out of the entire series.
Right, and the reason why he says that is mine too, not just to agree, but here's the reason why, my opinion, why number 2 is the best. Because in all reality, code name 47 Hitman, it never got recognized. It just came out, went to the shelf, some people saw, oh, that was a cool game, all right. You know, it really never was recognized until Silent Assassin 2 came out. The spectrum, the mechanics.
It brought a lot more depth to the character. The mechanics got fluffed. Everything is prettier. There was nothing wrong with Codename 47.
No, not at all. It's just the backstory. And
Silent Assassin just brought the same thing back, but upped it 24-fold.
Yeah, and that's the idea of Silent Assassin is people started looking what this game was because the mechanics were, how do I put it, revised. They were improved, and people started to say, oh, this is different. What is this about? You know, I've never played a game like this, you know, so that's why it drew me in, you know. It's like, oh, is that what I think it is? Because you think it's Hitman 2, Silent Assassin, you know, and the first game always went by Codename 47. I'm thinking, man, that sounds familiar. When I saw the game, I was like, what is this? And then it made me realize, oh, I played that game. That was amazing. I never thought there'd be a new one because I always leave it open-ended. You don't know if it's going to end or if there's going to be another one, you know.
Another good reason why I think a lot of people picked up Silent Assassin versus any of the others in the series is IO friggin' they marketed it completely different. They it was back in the day when the demo discs were still a huge thing.
Those were huge.
It was pre full. Everyone had internet days. You know, DSL lines are higher.
Yep.
And so you got it by getting those discs, and that first level that you got to play in Silent Assassin was just an absolutely amazing playthrough. It was
and the detail they went to, because usually demos will be like, okay, here to here, and you get this much mechanic to play with. No, that demo, I remember the demo too. You got the full range of that whole level. And I remember when I completed that level finally, because I wanted that Silent Assassin, I wanted the top, you know. I did it. Oh, okay. Oh wait, this is just the demo. That's how far I got into the game. I was ready for the next level.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
So then I was like, oh, I've got to buy this.
I remember me and my buddy both had it. And, we used to take turns seeing who could get farther and quicker. And like the second we got Silent Assassin, we used to see who could improve it.
Yes, you could always do, and there's always a different way. Because I had friends that would come over and play it, and I'd beat the whole game. And I'd sit down and watch them play it. And they go a different way. I'm like, oh, nope, he's going to get caught. He's going to have to do it that way. And then that's why there's endless possibilities when you're going to do stuff.
Absolutely.
He's like, you did completely different how I did it. And got the same thing I did. I'm like, wow, maybe I can do it a different way. You know, and that's...
There's really no wrong way to play it. In fact, most of the time I'll start out trying to get that Silent Assassin ranking.
Right.
And then probably about the third level, I say, fuck it. And then I end up going balls to the wall with
straight through
dual AK-47s and destroy everyone.
Yeah, just blow them away.
I don't care about the Silent Assassin rating at that point.
Yeah. And then, okay, see, now we've covered Silent Assassin, of course, and how we like it. You know, give us comments on what you think. You know, like, which one was your favorite in this series? You know, when did you start recognizing this game? You know, because all games are like that. And for me, this is where I started recognizing more. And the second one is my opinion. I don't know about Charlie's, but that was what it did for me. You know, it made me recognize, oh, this game could go somewhere. That's what it was for me.
Absolutely.
So,
it leads into Contracts. Overall, Enemy Within was in there, but again, Enemy Within and Contracts both just retreaded a lot of the same story, and so those ones weren't favored nearly as much. And to be fair, I've never actually played Enemy Within. It's that forgettable.
Yeah. Hey guys, I just wanted to thank you guys for coming out and watching the video with us for Evo Gaming, of course, and please come back next time.
Absolutely. Thank you guys for coming out and seeing us this time. Make sure to come back for future videos. Click that subscribe button. Any comments you feel are right, negative, positive, we like them all. So just make sure to keep on coming back.
Yeah. Thanks, guys. We'll see you guys next time.